Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and I'm going to tell you why I chose PreSonus Studio One as my digital audio workstation, both as a guitarist and as a podcaster. This video is sponsored by Sweetwater, but I actually used PreSonus Studio One well before I was approached to do this video. I've actually been using it probably for 5 or 6 years now, pretty much daily, if not at least weekly. And when Sweetwater approached me about doing content, I said, yeah, sure. I mean, I've been paying for Studio One for a long time. I started with the free version and I moved to the paid version pretty quickly after. And I've been using their Mondo PreSonus Sphere suite, which encompasses everything they've got essentially for about a year now. And I've been really, really happy with it. But let's talk about why. Why Studio One when so many people are using so many other things, and why there are so many options out there and they're all so different. So I went to school for music business, and as part of that, I studied music production. I had to pass recording technology classes, and in those classes, we covered both completely analog methods of recording as well as digital ones, and we used Pro Tools. So when I was looking to record again, I thought about Pro Tools, and I wasn't ready to dive in to something paid, and a lot of these free versions of things that looked normal to me, but that's to say, like, not Ableton, which did not look like something I was used to. They had limitations, a lot of limitations. Mainly, I think the free version of Pro Tools limited the number of tracks I could use to like 8. And, you know, for a podcast, that wasn't a huge deal, but I also had like a little EP I wanted to work on. And, I thought that's not a lot of tracks. So I looked, and PreSonus's free version didn't limit the number of tracks I could use. It did limit the number of inputs I could have at once to 2, but I was just me in my bedroom. I had stereo guitar tracks. I was recording one at a time, and that was plenty for me. And for the podcast, 1 mic, 2 mics. Yeah, that's fantastic. It worked great. So, as far as that was going, I really wanted something that I could grow with that wouldn't force me to invest right away. So PreSonus Studio One was that. Like I felt very comfortable that I could try it out, have a lot of room to experiment and get wild, and not feel like I had to invest in it immediately. Because my thought was, what if I pay a lot of money for something and it doesn't work for me? I don't like the workflow. And thankfully, Studio One's workflow made a lot of sense to me right away. I was very happy for that. So, the price was right, and it's something that you can grow with. There are multiple tiers, 3, kind of 4. So there's the Prime, there's the Artist, which is a level up and has some more bells and whistles, and there's the Professional that pretty much unlocks most things, and then there's the Sphere, which is what I have, that unlocks pretty much everything. You get access to all their plugins, Suites, Beats, other software like their Notion, which is their notation, charted out kind of software. And it's pretty affordable as far as I'm concerned. I'm in it a lot, not as much as I'm in my Adobe suite, which I pay more for and use a little bit more, but I enjoy using the Studio One software a lot more. So that's the first thing. As far as the features in the free version, it has, a drag and drop workflow, which is pretty easy to use, trimming, crossfades, hotkeys. You can map that with, they sell their own fader port, or you can use any kind of if you really need tactile kind of things. I have another little tactile thing called the Tour Box. It's small. It's it's this, and I had this mapped to different things within Studio One before I got the Fader Port 8. The Fader Port 8 is much better. It's cool. If you have an iPad, there's also a free app with PreSonus that you can use that enables you to essentially have, and let's look at this. So this is an actual recording session I did for Sunday Crush, for a cover we did of Santa Gold's Lights Out. You can see all the different guitar parts I did from my bedroom. Yes, there's a lot. I should have color coded them. But yeah, you can see everything here. But this down here, this is the console. And if you have the iPad app, which is again free, you can have that on the iPad connected to your computer, and you can control all of this, all these faders. So you can feel like you have like almost an analog desk in front of you while you have all of your tracks up here. So you're not losing any of your recording space. So I think that's really cool. I love that they do that. It makes you feel really super duper fancy. I like it. Next, what else? Oh yeah, layers, track transform. And the free version even had a lot of built-in features. They had like a compressor that I used a lot. And one thing I really liked about their plugins, you know, people will say, and this was a bummer, this bummed me out a little bit at first, you can't use other outside non-native plugins with the anything under the professional version, so Prime and Artist. You can only use PreSonus's plugins. I still think their plugins are really nice. I've actually just the other day got a comment on the lead tone I was using in one of my videos. And in that video, I even said, I'm just using, like, I was playing through my Tone Master Super Reverb, and then I just used, like, one of, like, the analog delay plugin from Studio One, and somebody was like, I really like that lead tone. I'm like, dope, me too. I just kind of threw it on there for some color. I didn't even spend too much time dialing it in, and it sounded really nice. I totally agree. I think those plugins sound really good. I tend to use my pedals and my effects when I'm like really recording, but when I'm like writing, and I'll do another video on this with the plugins. I would love to do a lot more Studio One content. I want to keep this video about the why I chose it, but the plugins are a big factor in that, and there really are a lot. The free version has fewer, but it still has like the basic stuff that you want. It has like a basic version of amplitude. I'm sorry, has a basic version of Ampire, which is an amp cab simulator, which I really like because when I record for other people, I like to record just a DI track and then I reamp it. So I do this because though I know what effects I think are going to sound awesome with the song, there's a chance the artist and the producer may disagree. And if they do, it's a lot easier to just change that delay pedal or swap out that reverb for a different one or turn it off via reamping than it is to just completely re-record the track. So I don't want to do that. I mean, it's a time saver. If they're like, I don't like the amp setting or whatever, I know I can just reamp it and it's going to be a lot better. But when you're recording DI directly into your interface, into your DAW, it doesn't sound very fun. So I like to use the Ampire, especially even without like having to dial it in. And also, like, I think the bass stuff sounds really good. I've mostly used it for bass too, just for recording. But to be able to have that on my DI track and then just take it off later, it makes it a lot easier to record those DI tracks when I do that. So it's been, it's helped me actually make money. So that's been great. Now you also get access to their virtual instruments for your MIDI controller. I've used that quite a bit. I think there are some drum beat stuff. I'm not as that's not my like strength. It's something I'm trying to get more into. But yeah, those are the kinds of things I use. I've used the compression things a lot. I love that they have presets for vocal types. You know, Andrew always had his little preset that I'd use. And I love presets and compressors, you know, as a starting point. You know, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Someone smarter than me made those presets, and I'm just going to fine tune them as I need to. I'm not ashamed of it. So, yeah, that kind of goes into what makes it so easy to use. You know, I started with Pro Tools. I was trained in it. I'm not like certified in it. I don't know if those certifications are real. I know people who like have paid thousands of dollars to get like certified in Pro Tools. I don't know if that's real. I just don't think you really need to do that. So, you know, when I started the podcast again, it had been a long time since I'd done recording, and I had never really recorded into a computer. So, Studio One just made a lot more sense to me than anything else I looked at. Like, I know, like I'm a Windows person, so like I didn't have GarageBand, and even so, like, I mean, I guess I had GarageBand on on an iPad at some point, and it was fine, but I want something more involved, more professional, and Studio One had everything, and still continues to have everything that I need. And I could grow with it. Like I said, I went from having the Prime subscription that was free to the Artist, and to just like going full Sphere. And I've not regretted it. I've never been like, ugh, why did I do that? No, hell no. I'm like, this is awesome. So, let me actually go over here. And let's take a look. So, like, there are just tons of cool effects in PreSonus. And I think I might even have some. Yeah, so I have some Helix native things and Melodyne. Like, I have some external plugins in here now. But PreSonus, like, they have the Ampire. I have an empty channel for you. But they have the Ampire plugin, which has, like, the presets. Some fun bass ones. So like even like a bass in your living room, mellow stuff. So things that you can start with. Some clean sounds, rehearsal fun, tremolo king. Like, and you can just click on it. You can see what that actually looks like. And you can even like move it around into different, you can like, it feels tactile in ways, and that I really appreciate. Like pretty much all of their plugins well, not all of them, but many of them feel that way, and I really appreciate that. And then of course you can select your cabinets. This is the paid version, so this is more than the basic one. The basic one still had quite a few things, so that's fun. I had the analog delay. I got a lot of compliments on. Again, let's clear some of these guys. So you can just remove them pretty easily too. I got compliments on that, but this also has, your presets, or you can just go wherever you want to go with them. You can lock that in. You don't have to. Oh. I don't know how to turn that one on, obviously. There we go, the Pong. Nice. Then we have some auto filter. See, this is where it's a little bit less, it feels a little bit less like playing with a pedal, but you still have coffee filter. You still have a lot of presets to start with. Some of them have very smart names, wah, guitar. So yeah, that again, little bit less automatic understanding. And then we have just like your normal channel strip. I'm pretty sure this one is, I'm pretty sure, just part of the basic plan. So it has like, I would just go to vocals and I'd be like, okay, this is Andrew's a male vocal. So it has you know, low cut, boost some things over here. And then there'd be a little bit of compression, adjust the speed of the compression there. Decide how you want the gain, some EQ. You can adjust the EQ. You can't adjust the Q in this one as far as I can tell, but you can make some changes. I don't know, can you adjust the Q? You might be able to, honestly. Not in that one. But the actual compressor, you definitely can. A chorus, that's a fun one. They have one, let's see, slightly stereo. I bet that one's really fun. Different wave shapes, voicings, so many really cool things. Compressor I use a lot. And then underneath these, you can, if you want, you can just go ahead and also, sorry, you'll see underneath here, you can actually see your inserts and your sends and stuff. So like I had a tuner on earlier, and then that just that shows you everything that you have. You can turn things on and off, just bypass them like that. So I just found this to be very intuitive, a lot of these elements of them. So, and then you can go under here, and if you're like, oh, I just want to make sure I immediately have like my, I think this compressor is also, part of the free version. So like I would do female pop vocals for me, and then you can fine tune them. You can do side chains and stuff too. Speech, dual pan, expander, general use, noise removal. I've annoyed people with this before because sometimes I put it in the wrong place. You gotta be careful about that one. Oh yeah. Sometimes you mess up the noise removal. Yeah, lots of really fun things. There's gating. You can do ducking in there. There's ways. That's another thing about the ease of use is there is a lot of documentation about Studio One because it's not some fly-by-night software. It's been around for a very long time. So from YouTube videos to their own website, there's a lot out there. They have a TikTok thing that has like 60-second tips. So I learn new things from that occasionally. Like I learned that you can use your mouse scrolly to adjust the cue, the cue. So you know, like if you're doing like an EQ thing, you have the like how the curvature of, oh god, I'll just show you. Screw that. I am losing my mind. Doing a great job of talking. So like Pro EQ, you have your let's add a guitar player. Let's do full electric lead. So you have any of your dots there. You can change the depth, the cue, that's the sharpness, let's just call it the sharpness of the waveform, with the scrolly wheel. So I'm just scrolling on my wheel right there. And I learned that from their TikTok account. 60 seconds. Great. I love that. Man, so great. Yeah. So those are just a couple of reasons. But like when you're picking a DAW, you gotta think, you know, you gotta pick something you can grow with. And you don't want to have to like relearn a new software. So that's why I like GarageBand is kind of fun for like writing, especially like if you're on the go, like you just got the chords right there with you. Like I get that. I do think that's fun. There are definitely some benefits to a lot of these programs. But I think that, you know, commit commit to something that can commit to you back. And that's why I really liked Studio One, is because I didn't have to make a huge commitment to something. I got to try it out for a very long time. I got to have basically unlimited tracks. I've recorded the entirety of Self-Objectification with No Remorse, my EP, which you can find it on Bandcamp. I recorded the entirety of that on Studio One, not really knowing what I was doing. And that whole process was just me figuring out Studio One and relearning how to use a DAW. And it was great. I had a great time. I didn't really cry too much doing it. And I've been editing the podcast in there for years. It's been great. I've recorded, like, I've paid gigs in there, stuff with Sunday Crush. We did the cover of Lights Out by Santa Gold for a compilation, Gossip Girls covers soundtrack compilation thing on Bandcamp. That was really fun because that got covered in like Brooklyn Vegan and stuff. And what else? I recorded, oh gosh, yeah, so many, like, gosh, just some really great songs in Studio One. Good memories. And, I use it to write. So maybe that'll be my next video showing you how I use Studio One to write songs. So cool. Well, big thanks to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video, finally convincing me to like talk about my DAW. And for everyone else out there, thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. Please like, comment, subscribe below. Check us out. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/getoffset. Please consider using our Sweetwater affiliate links in the video description. There are lots of great PreSonus tools. I just got an upgrade. So I'm going full PreSonus. I have the Fader Port 8, and now I have this big 1810C PreSonus interface, and I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's going to be a big game changer. This is a huge upgrade for me. I just had a little Focusrite before, and it was fine until it died. I'm borrowing a friend's interface right now. Thanks, Dan, my drummer. I edited a video of him today. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Dan. Well, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. Please like, comment, subscribe below. Did I say thanks for watching? Thanks for understanding? Until next time, my name is Emily. Goodbye.